concerned if all of us don't try to make the world a better place than when we found it, it's going to get a whole lot worse a whole lot faster. I mean, if people weren't on this, you say it doesn't do any good, but if people weren't on the streets during Vietnam, Nixon was ready to use the atomic weapons, and he didn't.
I want you to move up to date now.
Okay.
Let's leave Vietnam. Let's bury Vietnam and bring it. No, bring right now.
Right
21st century, 2011.
Right now,
the economy of the world. What are you going to do with the euro?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I'll tell you a thing I heard the other day, and I think it was I forgot it was one of the, I forget who it was right now. It was one of the top 3 people in the Bush administration. I think might have been Cheney. I think it was either Cheney or Rumsfeld. I don't remember. And they were talking about they're all afraid, all the Bush administration people, they're all afraid of being Pinochet. Pinocheted.
Well, wouldn't that be fun?
Well, but look what
does he mean by that?
Okay, Pinochet was the dictator that the CIA backed to overthrow the democratically elected government in Chile, which was another September 11th that we didn't hear about, is September 11th,
it's exactly the same
1973.
date. Yes, that's right.
And actually, I think there's 5 major things that have happened on different September 11ths, but that was 1973, September 11th. And he literally, I don't know how many thousands were disappeared, were tortured, and I mean, it was true crimes against humanity. And he got arrested when he was in England by a Spanish judge because some of the people he tortured and disappeared were Spanish citizens. And he literally got out of it because he feigned senility. But Henry Kissinger is afraid to leave the country because there's warrants for him some places.
Of course.
Okay, so all this, and that wouldn't be possible unless you had public opinion really wanting to give these people accountability. I mean, it may, obviously whether it happens or not but the fact that they even use that as a verb, they're using it as an expression. They're all talking about it. They're all worried about it. It's kind of great.
Because see, I got this new app. Okay, it's predator drone training. Predator drones? Are you familiar?
Yeah, but you know what? Every kid who uses a video game, they're already trained.
That's what I'm saying. This allows me to be able to either target small individual buildings or cities, and I was like, I to do it from right here. So pick something. Who don't you like? We'll kill them right now. Right now. I mean, just pick a person. Who's on your top hit list?
If I did that, I'd be as bad as them.
You know? What? Who?
Eli Broad.
Eli Broad? Eli Broad. We have bigger problems than Eli Broad. He doesn't give enough money away. That's a problem. He wants his name on everything. No, we agree. I mean, that's the thing. I still am looking. There is a way to penetrate the veneer of 21st century technology that will do what you just said. I don't believe, and I still am hopeful. This is not a pessimistic statement. I'm still extremely hopeful because I've spent my life, as she has, as people that I know in this room have done, spent their life trying to do exactly what you said, is in the smallest way somehow improve the condition of the world that we live in, whether it's our block, whether it's your city, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? The question is, though, is how are we able to contemporize the way that we think and move within the contemporary society without doing what you and I just did, which is we're good for a history lesson, but we are not at the point of looking at a future, which is what these people are, in order to allow them to have a comprehension of the necessity to understand the history, but to reorganize that history in such a manner that technologically that there is something that can be done. Okay, what was the kid that just hacked the FBI something? I don't remember what it is. I mean, well, they will probably catch him and hire him. Okay, which is always what will happen. I still think that until something cataclysmic happens in this country, there's only going to be a very small amount of people that care.
Well, it's starting to happen. I mean, the job situation for this generation is not what the job situation was when I
But
graduated.
who cares, though? You care, I care, but who really cares?
They care.
You think they care? Really? Come on.
Well, you think they want to live home for the rest of their life?
How many graduate students would you like me to make a list of that I know of that are in their 30s living at home?
Because they have no choice. Because they don't have.
This
Because
is
there's
just
no
what
jobs.
happened. I mean, it was in Spain this summer, and it happened there, where when they said the generation that does nothing, they got up and they hit the streets. Except they didn't know what to ask for. So there was massive protest, and my sense moving through it was that they have, protest, but what are you asking for?
You have to have a purpose. You have to have a purpose.
But see, that's also the purpose of having this kind of discussion and having the history lesson, because it gives a perspective.
Absolutely.
I mean, who would have thought that the Egyptians would have overthrown that dictatorship?
Yeah,
Who
but they
would've
knew
thought?
what they wanted.
Yes. What? Yeah, that. Right.
That's the historical.
That's
the historical problem with revolution.
But there's
you replace one dictatorship with another.
But that's a problem with revolution, isn't it?
Yeah.
Revolution. All it does is revolve. It doesn't change. There's no precedent. And in this way, in terms of the history of posters, maybe in terms of the down-to-earth politics. But I'm not aware of a single moment where the idea of political leftist revolution has ever succeeded.
Well, and I'll give you, again, going back to the Nicaraguan example, I was there in 81, 83, and 84. In 83, they were schools. I mean, they had a 56% illiteracy rate when the Sandinistas took over. They brought it down to again, you're talking 8th grade level or something, but they brought it down to 15%. Illiteracy in the United States is higher than that.
Well, I can just, because I love the little flowing facts. We're 10th in literacy in the world, the United States.
10th from the bottom or 10th?
10th from the top.
Yeah.
10th.
10th.
In literacy.
Yeah. Cuba's higher.
Cuba is number 2.
Yeah.
Who's number 1?
Huh?
Who's number 1?
Do you want to guess?
Yeah, Israel.
That's funny.
I mean,
People of the book.
The people of the book.
And the book
Which
and
book?
the gun. The one about the gun.
But anyway, so just
Japan.
really briefly,
Yeah.
the Sandinistas gave made healthcare available. They had schools. They started dealing with women's rights, and then the U.S. government comes in with their contras, and they're attacking the healthcare centers. They're destroying the schools. They're attacking the healthcare cooperative, the agricultural cooperatives. They're going, and the U.S. had spy planes to tell the contras, the Sandinista army's over here. That agrarian, storage doesn't only has 3 people, 3 militias protecting it. Attack that one. So this government is responsible for making sure that they do not succeed.
No, I understand.
And they tried to do the same with
I
Cuba.
understand.
They did the same with the Soviet Union.
I understand.
So I think you can't really talk about succeeding as a revolution because they
No. But
I think
it's
we all
the
agree on that.
assertion of
Yeah.
that one set of values in relation to a monetary the monetary success, right? Corporate, global, free economic condition that we live in versus that which was representative of people, of human beings. I mean, $1 billion was spent looking for Osama bin Laden. $1 billion looking for one guy. First, if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, I'm not even sure the guy's dead because it's so convenient that there's no proof that he was dead. Second is, that guy, if he is, he's the best military, strategic, tactical event to ever happen in human history is you just blow up one little building and you throw the entire world in chaos for the next who knows how long. You
destroy the U.S. economy.
You destroy the U.S. economy. You imbalance the world economy. Oh my God! And it took a box cutter.
Right.
Oh my God! That guy should get a medal.
And our freedoms, we've willingly given up our freedoms.
Hired him.
Really. That's not disrespectful of individuals that have died and the horror of war. And and it is not meant to be disrespectful at all, but there's brilliance in this.
You know, I just want to raise too that, you know, there's art censorship that just happened like this week in this state, and people may not be aware of it, but the Oakland Museum of Children's Art was scheduled to have an exhibit of Palestinian children's art, children from, I don't know, age of 7 through 11.
Yeah, I heard that.
And their funders said, and complained, and so they canceled. And that just happened this week, or maybe last week.
But that's it. But again, we're going again
Yeah.
to bring it sort of a short full circle. Therein lies the obstacle that we face. Is simply there is always someone else deciding what is appropriate or inappropriate in any given context. There is always going to be someone who will censor any kind of formal information that is being presented. Either it's verbal, i.e. presentations that are being made. In this case, it happens that we can speak freely. Half this audience might want to shoot us, but it's, you know, nonetheless, the point is at least the information is being heard. Again, I'm still looking, there's got to be a mechanism that will sort of unlock the anesthetization, the absolute apathy, the grocery store is full of food.
Art.
You know.
Look at what you did with your museum.
No, I don't disagree, but we need.
He did.
We more.
Well, these are the future artists.
Here
I have
is.
a question for both of you, and it's considering that we live in a desensitized society, because all the amount of information that bombards us every day, and all the technology, the amount of drunkenness, all sorts of drunkenness.
Drunk? Did you say?
Drunkenness. Yes.
Drunk? Yeah.
And when confronting a wall of silence, this wall can be put by a single individual or by a group of people, and dialogue is no longer possible. What is the next option to reach a resolution based on common agreement? And I mean, not agreement just for the sake of agreeing.
Do you mean consensus?
But yeah, but to
Amongst who? Or whom?
But to create, to find a solution for the common problems that we have. And
I'll let you take
art
that.
is actually
I'm not sure how.
being censored.
Well, there's a couple of ways of approaching your question, and one of it is actually just, I want to pull a little bit what Daniel just said. Freedom of speech exists in this country unless you really use it to challenge the power.
Thank you.
And people, I mean, the Black Panthers got killed because they were speaking truth to power. Many of the American Indian movement, there's a poster about this in the exhibition at the University Art Museum, were set up and framed. Angela Davis was set up and framed. You know, so if you use your freedom of speech, but you're saying stuff that the powers that be don't want to hear, they will do whatever they can to neutralize you. So freedom of speech is fine if you want to say it's howdy doody time.
Right.
But when you start pushing, you know, start saying others, if you start being Galileos,
Yeah.
then, you know, they have no compunction about killing you or putting you in jail or neutralizing or trying to disappearing you, trying to discredit you. Okay.
You have to be able to have. I mean, I think and I'll it is mandatory that the dissenting voice is always present. You do not have to agree with it, but you need to at least have to be honest enough with yourself to at least to listen to what another person has to say about the same subject that you seem so adamantly fixed on believing is one-dimensional, because it is not one-dimensional. You have to have a dissenting voice.
Thank you. This is good. I think we need to end.
Well, I just wanted to, just one last comment about the last thing, is I think what Daniel just said has been so destroyed by the current political climate, and the politicians aren't even polite you know, they walk out on the president,
I didn't even call him the president.
they call him a liar in public. I mean, the level of discourse has gotten so disrespectful that I think that kind of dialogue is important. But I don't know how, with the role models we're getting in Washington, not just in Washington, all the talking heads on the news, the ones with the biggest ratings are the ones that are rudest, that interrupt the most.
Because it's entertainment.
Because it's entertainment. They want to be provocative through entertainment, and it's. I mean, we really have to, just say no, turn it off, switch the channel, and let them know we want to hear real stuff, real people. And not hear this disgusting insult after insult, and there's no content to the insult. It's entertainment.
Yeah, in a fully immersive capitalist global society, you have to be able to, if possible, and I'm not sure it exists, to separate the difference between genuine critical dialogue and entertainment and profit making.
That's excellent. Thank you.
And I have some flyers about the Center for the Study of Political Graphics.
Which is a fabulous organization. This woman has done more to let more people know about politics in the world than anybody I know. So this organization, if you can support her, please do.
Thank you
Politics
so much.
and art.